Hey, Stacy. So you said you were doing this in your garage. It actually looks like a nice, roomy garage, and so it may have felt awkward to you. However, you're going to find that this might be your best place to do your studio work because there's probably not very many light leaks. There's a lot of space. It's actually, I think it's the right place to work, personally. So good, great. And here are your equipment shots. You know, I had one person earlier, Craig, I believe. Craig was using his light meter cell phone app for light meter. You know, it's kind of problematic to do that because your cell phone doesn't have a Lumisphere on it. The Lumisphere provides some very important functions, mainly keeping any kind of glare off of the photocells. Two, your cell phone doesn't actually have photocells in it. So it is getting an incident meter reading, but it's not doing it in a way that's going to always yield accurate results. But I am glad to see that you do have an appropriate meter right here. So if you're just doing this for fun, okay, but use this for class. Maybe if you're out doing your own thing, go ahead and use the other one, but use this for class. It's the first time I've ever seen people try to use these in class, and I mean, it's industrious, totally cool, but use this. And then, you know, in the future, oh, also, I can, oh no, I took it away. You know, look on Craig's feedback, because I gave him a link to a really interesting conversational thread between photographers that are messing around with these kind of applications and checking their accuracy against a very similar meter to what you're using right here, the Sekonic 308. So, and they have some extremely interesting and helpful things to say about when this is really helpful and when this is the tool that you want. And a lot of what they say is hilarious, because they're like, you know, this will impress your clients because they're easy to impress, but this will save you a lot of trouble in the end. Okay, and so here you said that you're using, in one case you're using two lights. One is a key and one is the fill. I'm assuming this is the key and this is the fill based on your images, because this seems brighter. So this would be short lighting because the brighter side of your subject is not facing the camera. And then in here you have passive fill. You've gotten rid of one of the lights and you're using a gold reflector. So this is a very different feel now for us, isn't it? Yes. Yes, it is. Lots of information on your contact sheets too. That's great. Very helpful. Thank you. You know, if you really want to be awesome, you'll get in here and you'll also include your ISO and the millimeter focal length that you're using in all of your shots. And then one little thing to pick on. You'll see that this isn't opening up very big on my screen. I'm wondering why you didn't give me a fillet full screen like this. Like, give me a really big image to look at. I'm wondering why you gave me such a small final. Because it's not very much bigger than these. I mean, okay, so it's maybe 4 times the size as those, but it's I really would like a full size to, you know, indulge me. Give me a gigantic image to look at, okay? And then, let's see. So I'm assuming this is your first time with your studio lights. Not too shabby, really. And oh, and look at this. You've got the hair light going on too. Look at you. Oh, I see. You know, this might be kind of aesthetically problematic because we can see that that hair light is actually on his skin instead of his hair, and so it's giving us a direct reflection right there. And probably right there too. Yeah, that's a little, it's a little kind of not what we want in portraiture. Typically, we don't want direct reflections on the skin. Something that would be a better use of this light here would be to actually sneak it behind him so that it's acting like a rim light. So it would end up sort of illuminating just that very contour of his head, which could be really interesting, especially, you know, because he's got dark skin and dark hair. So if you had him up against a dark background, you could make a really gorgeous dramatic image with a beautiful rim light, and you would effectively be able to do it with this light right here. Just lower it a little bit and get it behind him, making sure that it's not directly going into the camera's lens, because that's going to cause some glare. But it would do a really beautiful job illuminating him. And then you actually, I thought this was an interesting choice too, with the white background and then somebody that has such dark skin, because that's going to give you some really strange exposure problems. You didn't do too bad with it, but this background is sort of having a blown out feel. You know, it's kind of, I can see the light, there's like an aura kind of coming off of it. God, what's the word for that? I'll have to look it up, but it's something that can happen when you're kind of shooting at a high exposure and you've got something bright white in there. It's just going to kind of bleed into it's going to bleed between lines on your subjects. But I would say that you did fulfill the requisites of the assignment, giving us much different feel in regard to the light. You've got short lighting on both of these. However, the golden reflector changes the feel of this significantly, doesn't it? Okay, and then like I said, next time, enlarge these a lot more. Give us really big images. And I don't think there was anything else that I would suggest. I mean, I think this is a really good first start. I think that your garage is a great place to be shooting. Yeah, no, I think you set yourself up pretty well. Okay, thanks, Melissa.